The Dallas Cowboys just pulled off the kind of moves that make the rest of the league nervous. Nobody expected them to reshuffle their roster with this much boldness, and now the story of this season feels completely different. Micah Parsons is gone, Kenny Clark is in, George Pickens has arrived, and Dak Prescott suddenly finds himself with the most weapons he has ever had in his career. This is not the same Cowboys team from last year. This is a version of Dallas that feels like it could explode at any moment, and the NFL is not ready for it. But here's the twist that makes this story even wilder. Dallas did not just make random changes, they connected every move to a bigger vision. The trade for Kenny Clark was not about replacing Parsons, it was about fixing the run defense that collapsed games last season. Bringing in George Pickens was not just about another target, it was about forcing defenses into impossible choices every snap. And when you put that all together, you start to see why the Cowboys are suddenly the most unpredictable team in football. Nobody knows if this plan is genius or reckless, and that is exactly why it is so fascinating. What nobody is talking about yet is how this new offense might flip every number that dragged Dallas down last year. They were sitting at 21st in points per game and 31st in red zone scoring, numbers that define their struggles. Now they have two receivers who can win anywhere on the field, and a backfield that might finally punish light boxes. If defenses can no longer load up against the run, everything changes. So let's dive into the piece that sparks it all, the offensive weapons who can tilt the entire season in Dallas's favor. But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Cowboys and all the NFL content. Let's aim for 500 likes on this video. The Dallas Cowboys just turned every coverage call into a gamble. Line up across from CeeDee Lamb on one side and George Pickens on the other, and you feel the field stretch in both directions at once. Corners cannot sit. Safeties cannot cheat. The shocking part is how simple the stress looks on paper, and how hard it is to live with for 4 quarters. Give Dak Prescott a clean picture, and that ball is out before a safety can blink. Cloud the picture, and you leave grass that turns into yards. But here's the twist that defensive coaches hate to admit. Lamb bends space with timing and option work, while Pickens punishes single coverage with body control and late hands. If the safety shades Lamb, Prescott rips the isolation to Pickens. If the safety leans toward Pickens, Lamb eats windows in rhythm and moves the sticks. Red zone becomes a choice you cannot win. Play too high and Dallas will take the underneath throws until the goal line shrinks. Spin to one high, and the fader back shoulder to Pickens is live, the moment the corner turns his head. What nobody is talking about is how this duo changes the math for the next layer of the offense. When safeties widen and nickels stay honest, the box thins out and inside lanes start to open. That is where the story tilts from scary to dangerous. If Dallas can force light fronts on early downs, the backfield can punish the clock and set up shot plays on their terms. So now we have to talk about the runners who can flip a drive with one cut and make this passing stress impossible to survive. Here is where Dallas changes its identity. The wideouts pull coverage to the edges, and the running backs attack the space that is left behind. Javonte Williams brings power with patience, Jadon Blue brings burst with real balance in traffic, and Miles Sanders brings veteran control when the game tightens. The surprising part is how their styles fit together. One drives through arm tackles, one cuts once and explodes, one keeps the clock calm when the moment feels loud. The plan is simple and dangerous. Early downs belong to Williams when you need steady gains that keep the call sheet open. Blue is the rookie you trust because he blocks, catches, and turns a crease into a chunk. Sanders gives you clean protection answers and smart short yard choices when the defense shows pressure. When safeties widen to help on CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, these three turn light boxes into first downs. When defenses squeeze inside, the play fake starts to sting. Now the pressure shifts to the quarterback room. If the ground game keeps Dallas in friendly downs, play action and quick rhythm throws become a problem for every defense on the schedule. Dak Prescott has never had this blend of space and support, and what he does with it will define the season. Next, we lock in on QB1, the standard he must hit, and why the competition behind him keeps that standard sharp. Dak Prescott stands at the center of the new Dallas picture with real urgency around him. He has a true outside partner to CeeDee Lamb now, and a backfield that can keep defenses honest. The clock in his head must be sharp, the ball must hit leverage, and the tone must be set early in games. This is the year where poise turns into production, and where clean decisions carry Dallas from promise to proof. What changes for Dak is less talk and more timing. Trust the first window when leverage says throw it. Steal easy yards on quick rhythm when corners play soft. Own the red area with calm eyes and placement that invites yards after the catch. The room behind him raises the bar without drama. Cooper Rush is steady and ready. Joe Milton brings rare arm strength and fresh energy. That mix tightens practice, speeds up decisions, and keeps the standard high all week. The season will follow the quarterback, but the quarterback will be lifted by the plan. That plan began with a move that shook the league and split opinions across every studio in the country. If you want to know why Dallas believes this path can work, you have to look at the trade that changed everything and the ripple effect it created on defense. The Cowboys made a move that split the room and set a new course for the franchise. Green Bay landed Micah Parsons, while Dallas secured Kenny Clark and 2 first-round picks in 2026 and 2027. The message was not panic, it was patience with a plan. Dallas chose control of its cap, leverage for future deals, and a veteran anchor in the middle who fits what they want to fix right now. Here is the part that changes the conversation. Last year, the run defense invited problems, with numbers like last in EPA per rush showing up when games got tight. Clark is not a headline chaser, he is a lane closer who helps you win on first down. The draft capital adds real flexibility. Those picks can become blue-chip starters, or they can become a trade package the moment a difference maker shakes free. That is a quiet advantage in a long season, and it keeps Dallas in every market. The ripple effect lands on the front seven. A stronger interior lets the ends rush with a cleaner plan, and it frees the linebackers to run and hit without guessing. Roles get sharper, rotations stay fresh, and the identity tilts towards sturdy first downs and timely pressure. Now we step inside that redesign and see how the new front can hold gaps, squeeze the pocket, and set the tone for 4 quarters. Kenny Clark changes the line of scrimmage the moment the ball is snapped. Pair him with Odigizua and you get a middle that squeezes gaps and forces back sideways. That inside firmness lets the rush arrive on time without losing lane discipline. Quarterbacks feel a tight pocket rather than a wide runway, and that small difference turns shot plays into checkdowns. The edges bring varied answers snap to snap. Dante Fowler Jr. still flashes get off and finish, and last season he delivered 10.5 sacks as proof that his closer gear is alive. Sam Williams supplies speed to power with better hand use each year. Marshawn Nealon carries second-year upside with a strong bull rush when he stays on track. Donovan Ezeruaku enters as a rookie with production that speaks for itself after a college season that hits 16.5 sacks. Add James Houston in pass situations and you can chase with speed or collapse with power without tipping the call. Now the front must sync with the second level, so runs end on schedule and scrambles do not break structure. That means clean fits for the linebackers and steady communication with the safeties when offenses shift in motion. The pieces are in place, but the real question sits on the card that every fan studies in Week 1. Who actually gets the nods on the official chart, and where do the surprise names land when Dallas lists its starters and key roles? The Cowboys' first depth chart delivered surprises across the roster, with veteran Miles Sanders listed ahead of rookie Jadon Blue, and wide receiver 3 marked as a battle between Jalen Tolbert and Kevontae Turpin depending on matchups. On defense, Sam Williams and Dante Fowler Jr. headline the edge spots, while Marshawn Nealon and rookie Donovan Ezeruaku add depth, and linebacker 3 remains unsettled between Damone Clark and Maris Liufau. Will Grier showed up as QB3 despite uncertain game day status, and rookie Tyler Booker immediately claimed the right guard job alongside Tyler Guyton, Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, and Terrence Steele on the offensive line. With roles set, the true test comes in Week 1 against the Eagles, where every position will face prime-time pressure. This is the moment to turn curiosity into proof. If you believe Dallas can shock Philadelphia, type your score in the comments, hit like, and subscribe so you do not miss the full game plan drops all week.